When we came into government in September last year, we inherited an economy growing below trend, rising unemployment, consumer confidence which was too low, and business investment which had plateaued. It is, of course, pleasing to see that the first quarter this year, as per the national accounts released yesterday, was a strong quarter of growth, but of course we can't take anything for granted. We need to continue to work hard to ensure that stronger growth trajectory can be sustained into the future, which is why we're calling on Bill Shorten and the Labour Party to support all of our measures to build a stronger, more prosperous, more resilient economy, including scrapping the carbon tax, scrapping the mining tax, and repairing the budget mess Labour left behind. If Labour cares about protecting our living standards, if Labour cares about a stronger economy, building a better opportunity and creating more jobs for the future, there is no alternative to supporting all of the measures that we've put forward in the budget, as well as supporting our efforts to get rid of these taxes that are holding Australia back.
You've got growth now at 3.5% over the past 12 months. Doesn't that undermine the tough budget message that you're trying to sell?
Well, not at all. We are still in a situation where our spending growth trajectory is completely unsustainable, taking us for 26.5% as a share of GDP within the decade, where we are looking at a debt trajectory that would take us to $667 billion within the decade and growing. We're still in a situation where right now we're forced to pay $1 billion a month just on the interest to service the debt that was accumulated under the previous government. The spending growth trajectory, the debt and deficit trajectory that we were on, courtesy of the previous government, was unsustainable, and if left unaddressed would weaken economic opportunities for Australia into the future. It would have a negative impact on our living standards and would make it harder for us to build a better opportunity and prosperity into the future.
How certain are you that the Liberals didn't hoodwink the Nationals into supporting the fuel excise?
Well, I'm very certain. That story which ran last night was completely false. Anyone that was involved in that process, and I was personally involved at every step of the way in that process, anyone that was involved in the process of putting the budget together could not possibly have come up with that sort of proposition. The truth is that the coalition is united. The coalition is united in our resolve to repair the budget mess that we've inherited from the Labour Party. We are united in rolling out record investment in productivity-enhancing road infrastructure across Australia, and of course the decision that we made in relation to the indexation of the fuel excise helps to secure that record infrastructure investment into the future. So that story was a complete fabrication. Obviously I don't know who the source for that story was, but as somebody who was involved at every step of the way in relation to the decisions that were made as part of the process of putting the budget together, it was a very positive, constructive, united process, and there was absolutely no question that all of us, right across the coalition, Liberal and National Party, were focused on the job that needed to be done to fix the budget mess that we've inherited from Labor.
So you can tell Minister Joyce over there that the Liberals haven't been gloating about these allegations.
My very good friend Barnaby over there knows that in the coalition and in the cabinet we have worked very positively, very collaboratively, and that we have been united in our resolve to fix the budget mess that we've inherited from Labor. There's absolutely no truth in the proposition that was circulated on ABC News last night. As far as we're concerned, we are focused on rolling out as a team, a Liberal National Party team, rolling out record investment in productivity-enhancing infrastructure, and of course the decision we made in relation to fuel excise indexation helps us secure that record investment, which is in the national interest. And may I just say, in particular, investment in road infrastructure in rural and regional Australia.
There were test balloons floated before the budget about changes to the diesel rebate. Why was that decision not ultimately made in the budget?
Well, I completely reject that characterisation. I mean, these are your words. The decisions that we've made are reflected in the budget papers. Obviously, when you go through the process of putting a budget together, when you go through the process of having to fix a budget in very bad shape, courtesy of the mismanagement of the previous government, you've got to review a lot of information, you've got to review a lot of options, and in the end you make judgments on what is in the national interest. You make judgments on how best to build a stronger economy and how best to repair the budget mess that was left behind.
Can you explain the $229 million that has been set aside for emergency payments in anticipation of the bills and the food that will need to be provided to those under 30 who will have to wait 6 months for benefits? Can you explain that fund?
Well, let me just make this general point, and if you want to go into the specifics, you might want to go to the portfolio minister. The general point is that we don't believe that young people should go straight from the school onto the dole. We don't believe that that's right, and of course that's why we've said that young people under 30 should either earn or learn. And of course, we do have appropriate safety nets in place to ensure that people are not inappropriately, challenged in that context. But a young person that is healthy, capable, and able to work should work. A young person under the age of 30 should not go straight from school onto the dole, and that is the policy that we've reflected in the budget. I've got to rush. Thank you very much.